BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go get a blessing. Turn
Vamos
to your
a una
Bible
bendición.
of Genesis, Parasha, chapter 37.
Vamos a obtener la bendición y vámonos a Génesis capítulo 37.
This is the City Gate Messianic Bible Study, Parasha number 9, VaYeshev, and he dwelt.
Esta es la parasha número 9, VaYeshev, y él vivió.
Going on to the next slide. This is once again VaYeshev, Parasha number 9. We're
Vamos a
just
ver.
doing them in order.
Okay. Vamos a ver la parasha número 9, VaYeshev, y él habitó.
This is the 9th weekly Torah portion.
Esta es la porción de la Torah número 9.
It goes from Bereshit, Genesis chapter 37, verse 1 to chapter 40, verse 23.
Y esta porción constituye Bereshit Génesis 37 al capítulo 40, versículo 23.
Yes, Denise, I'm in my living room. We're getting text messages. Yes, let's see. We're getting text messages, and I told people to text, and they are texting. Yes, you can text me. Yes, this is the Casa Dinnerman.
Estamos transmitiendo desde la casa Dinnerman.
And Shalom Joanne in Colorado. Shalom Carmen. And all right, enough saying hello. We're going to get down to business. All right. There's a lot of information in these couple of chapters.
Tenemos mucha información en estos capítulos,
But you really can't understand all the information until you understand the main topic.
pero realmente no puedes entender todos los capítulos a no ser que entiendas el tema principal.
On our website on bgmctv.org or bethgoyim.org that you see on the top right there.
En nuestra página web en bgmctv.org, que la dirección que ves en la parte de arriba de la presentación.
Let me get my little arrow thing like I do in the morning for theology class. Boing, right there at the bethgoyim.org.
bgmctv.org.
Okay, you can go to our website and then click on education.
Puedes entrar en nuestra página web y presionar en la fotografía de educación.
And then there's 5 years worth of studies on the Parasha.
Y tenemos un estudio de 5 años de las parashas.
Well, what makes this Bible study different
Este estudio bíblico es diferente
is what we're doing is doing a certain topic.
porque estamos tomando cierto tema.
All right, so let's go on to the next slide. We're in Parasha number 9 once again.
Estamos en la parasha número 9 una vez más.
And the main concept that we're going to be going over tonight is this.
Y el concepto principal que revisaremos esta noche es este.
Jealousy leads to hatred.
Los celos llevan al odio.
And that leads to all types of sin.
Y esto nos lleva a cometer todo tipo de pecado.
It's a very interesting, jealousy is our strongest emotion.
Los celos es una emoción muy fuerte
And it leads to all, once you become jealous,
una vez que tú estás celoso,
it'll lead to all types of other emotions that we're going to see in the scripture.
te va a llevar a tener otro tipo de emociones que vamos a ver en la escritura.
Because of this jealousy that you have,
Por causa de estos celos que tú tienes.
and nobody is immune to jealousy.
Y nadie está exento de los celos.
And it can make things beautiful.
¿Puede hacer cosas hermosas?
No, it never makes things beautiful.
Nunca hace las cosas hermosas.
Jealousy never makes things beautiful
Los celos nunca pueden tornar cosas a ser hermosas,
unless you're jealous for the Lord's kingdom.
a no ser que tenga celos por el reino de Dios.
Okay, so as we've been starting off, we're going on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
We're going to go over a summary first of the whole parasha.
Vamos a ver una visión general, una vista general de la parasha,
Because there's a lot of topics in this parasha that you can focus on.
porque hay muchos temas de esta parasha en los que te puedes enfocar.
But without the main topic of jealousy,
Pero sin el tema principal de los celos
and prophecy,
y la profecía,
you don't understand the rest of the parasha.
tú no vas a entender el resto de la parasha.
Now remember, the whole parasha goes from chapter 37, verse 1 to chapter 40, verse 23.
Recuerda que la parasha completa esta parasha comienza en Génesis capítulo 37 al capítulo 40, versículo 23.
I'll bring it back up to you and make sure it's right.
Yep.
53.
Versículo 23.
Okay. So our summary, let me get to the other slide here. Our summary is this.
Nuestro sumario, nuestra visión general es esta.
Okay. Yosef, is gifted in some areas.
Yosef es alguien que tiene dotes en algunas partes.
And one of the things that he's been given by the Lord is prophetic dreams.
Y uno de los regalos o dotes que el Señor le dio es interpretar los sueños.
And these prophetic dreams, sorry, my foot's stuck. These prophetic dreams make his brothers kind of angry.
Y estos sueños proféticos hicieron que sus hermanos se pusieran celosos.
And we're going to be looking at why his brothers get angry.
Y vamos a ver a la razón que sus hermanos se ponen celosos.
Now he's got 10 brothers at this time.
En este momento él tiene 10 hermanos.
And as we went over in previous weeks' studies,
Y como vemos en otros estudios anteriores,
his father Yaakov has 2 wives and 2 concubines.
su padre Jacob tiene 2 esposas y 2 concubinas.
And in our theology class with the children, we have some children that their parents are on not marriage number 1.
Y en nuestro devocional de la mañana tenemos algunos niños cuyos padres no están en su primera relación.
And there does still to this day, you'd still have problems
Y hasta este día existen problemas
with families that have God said that you're supposed to only have perfect plan, is what Yeshua told us.
donde el Señor desde el principio tenía un plan perfecto y eso como Yeshua nos dijo.
Jehovah's perfect plan was that one man and one woman.
El plan perfecto de Jehová era que era un hombre y una mujer.
But sometimes there is in Torah the rules for wives and concubines.
Pero también encontramos en la Torah las reglas o regulaciones para lo que es esposas y concubinas.
So one of our patriarchs, Yaakov, had 2 wives and 2 concubines, making 4 households.
Uno de nuestros patriarcas, Jacob, tuvo 2 esposas y 2 concubinas, haciendo que él tenga 4 hogares.
And to this day, we still have problems with multi-family homes like that.
Y hasta este momento, en este tiempo, tenemos problemas de esa clase.
But this problem is at minimum 3,000 years old.
Pero ese problema, por lo mínimo, tiene 3,000 años de antigüedad.
Because we're going to see the father Yaakov treats Yosef as the son of his favorite wife.
Y vemos cómo Jacob trata a Joseph, el hijo de su esposa favorita.
He's going to treat Yosef differently,
Él va a tratar a Joseph de una manera diferente,
causing jealousy from his 10 brothers.
causando así celos de sus 10 hermanos.
And the brothers get so jealous.
Y sus hermanos se tienen demasiados celos.
Yosef, the brothers get so jealous that this leads to the plot of murder.
Que sus hermanos tienen tantos celos que esto les lleva a planear matarlo.
Because jealousy leads to hatred.
Porque los celos llevan al odio.
Hatred leads to all types of sin.
Y el odio lleva a todo tipo de pecado.
But then Yosef, instead of killing him, they sell him into slavery.
Pero en lugar de matar a Yosef, lo envían como esclavo.
But this is a plan of Jehovah.
Este es el plan de Jehová.
That he already thought of back in Parasha Genesis chapter 15.
Que él ya tuvo pensado de vuelta en Génesis capítulo 15.
That he said to Abraham that his descendants would be slaves for over 400 years.
Cuando el Señor le dijo a Abraham que sus descendientes iban a ser esclavos por sobre 400 años.
So Yosef gets sold into slavery instead of his brothers murdering him.
Entonces Joseph fue vendido para la esclavitud en lugar de que lo asesinen.
Now there is a difference between killing and murdering.
Ahora hay una diferencia entre matar y asesinar.
Killing is when somebody is attacking you and you fight back and you kill them.
Matar es cuando alguien viene y te ataca a ti, tú te defiendes y lo matas.
This was going to be murder by his brother.
Esto iba a ser un asesinato premeditado por sus hermanos.
Because the brothers plotted, meaning thinking about something, to kill him.
Porque sus hermanos planearon, significa que ellos ya pensaron acerca de matarlo.
That changes it from killing to a sin of murder.
Eso cambia de matar a un asesinato premeditado.
But Yosef, instead of murdering him, they sell him into slavery.
Pero en lugar de asesinarlo, lo venden a la esclavitud.
But since Yosef did nothing wrong, Jehovah is with him.
Pero como Joseph no hizo nada malo, Jehová está con él.
And Yosef is raised up and put in charge of Potiphar's house in Egypt.
Y Joseph es promovido y se lo pone a cargo de la casa de Potiphar.
But then Yosef gets a test.
Pero entonces Joseph es probado.
Potiphar's wife takes a fancy to Yosef.
La esposa de Potiphar se acerca mucho a Joseph.
She takes a great fancy to Yosef.
Ella seduce a Joseph.
She was a woman, a prostitute type of woman.
Ella era una mujer de tipo prostitución.
And while her husband was away protecting Egypt,
y mientras su esposo estaba lejos protegiendo a Egipto,
she wanted to have relations with Yosef.
Ella quería tener relaciones con Joseph.
So Yosef said, "Nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. You're my boss's wife."
Y Joseph le rechazó y le dijo que no iba a tener relaciones con la esposa de su jefe.
Because if he gets caught, he's not just going to be fired.
Porque si lo hubieran atrapado, no lo hubieran solo puesto en la cárcel.
He could be killed by Potiphar.
Potiphar lo hubiera matado.
But Yosef gets thrown into jail, but this is all a plan of the Lord.
Pero Yosef fue enviado a la cárcel y este también fue un plan del Señor.
Because once Joseph is in jail,
Porque una vez que Yosef está en la cárcel,
he interprets the dream of the baker and the candlestick, the baker and the cupbearer.
él interpreta los sueños del servidor, del copero y del panadero del faraón.
Okay, so we got all this going on in this parasha.
Y tenemos todas estas situaciones sucediendo en este parasha.
And in the middle of all this, we got the Yehuda and the Tamar incident.
Y en medio de todo esto tenemos la cuenta de Yehuda y Tamar.
Itamar, not
Amén.
Itamar.
Y Tamar.
Okay. I mean, if you don't have to watch the novellas on television or the soap opera.
No es necesario ver las novelas en la televisión,
I mean, you get the great plot going on right here.
pero aquí ven una gran historia aquí.
And that's, I can plug it a little bit. It's not Messianic, but that series on YouTube or on their own platform, The Chosen, is very good.
Hay unos videos en YouTube que no son mesiánicos, pero es de los escogidos. Es una buena plataforma.
Because they're making the Bible come alive in a pretty good way.
Y porque ellos están reviviendo a la Biblia en una manera muy buena.
So if you get a chance while you're at home and you're in your home jail,
Si tienes la oportunidad de este momento que estás encarcelado en tu casa,
you can watch it, check it out on YouTube, called The Chosen.
busca en YouTube los escogidos o The Chosen.
Yeah, it's called The Chosen.
Se
Because,
llama The Chosen o
mean-
los escogidos.
I mean, just in the summary of this parasha,
Porque en este sumario de la Parasha
you got the plot of murder.
tienes este plan de matar.
So imagine the conversations that we don't have in the scripture with the 10 brothers.
Imagínate las conversaciones que pasaban entre los hermanos.
Plotting to kill Yosef.
Eso no encontramos en la Biblia, pero cuando estaban ellos planeando matar a Yosef.
Imagine, the whole thought process in Yaakov wanting to give Yosef the Technicolor coat. Coat of many colors.
Imagínate todo este plan de matarlo y cuando Jacob le da a Yosef esta capa de muchos colores.
And then you have this whole thing of Yosef going to Egypt.
Y vemos esta otra parte de Yosef que se va a Egipto.
You can have a whole storyline with the him getting sold and what's going on in his mind.
Vas a tener una buena trama con toda esta historia de cómo él es vendido y lo que está pasando.
And then in the middle of all that, you got Yehuda and Tamar.
Y en medio de esta historia tienes la cuenta de Yehuda y Tamar.
So you don't have to watch the crazy stuff on television. Just pick up your Bible and read it.
Entonces no es necesario el mirar todas esas cosas locas en la televisión, sino solo tú toma tu Biblia y léela.
And then let your imagination go wild.
Y deja que tu imaginación corra salvajemente, libremente.
If you're locked at home, you got a couple of kids.
Si estás encerrado en casa y tienes tus hijos,
take the kids and have them be one of the brothers.
Toma a tus hijos y hazlos que tomen el papel de uno de los hermanos.
Like, what would you say to Yosef?
¿Qué le dirías a Joseph?
Have one of the children play Yosef and get things going.
Y haz que otro de tus hijos sea Joseph y haz que actúe en esta situación.
Okay, so that's the summary, but now we're going to go a little further into the summary.
Esta es la visión general. Ahora vamos a ver un poco más de nuestra sinopsis.
Okay, the synopsis in chapter 37.
En esta visión general, el resumen del capítulo 37.
Now you should have your notebook ready because this is still class, even though you're in your own home jail.
Ahora, mientras estás en casa, tienes todavía que tener tu cuaderno de apuntes porque esto es una clase.
Okay. So in chapter 37, the first part of the chapter, you have Yosef's prophetic dream.
En el capítulo 37, versículo 1, tienes los sueños proféticos de Yosef.
Then in verse 20,
Entonces, en el capítulo 37, versículo 20,
you read about the brothers plotting to murder Yosef.
tú lees acerca del plan de los hermanos de asesinar a Yosef.
Now it says kill there in the Bible, but once you read the definition, it is murder.
Ahora ves en tu Biblia dice matar, pero en la definición dice asesinar.
And then still in chapter 37, there's like three major sections of chapter 37.
Y hay tres secciones mayores o principales del capítulo 37.
Yosef is sold by his brothers for not a lot of money.
En el versículo 27 está Yosef cuando es vendido por sus hermanos.
But this is a plan of Jehovah, but the plan didn't have to work out this way.
Este es un plan de Jehová, pero el plan no tenía que ocurrir.
Because all Jehovah said in Genesis 15 and Bereshit 15
Porque todo lo que Jehová dijo en Génesis 15
to Abraham was that your descendants will be slaves.
a Abraham le dijo que sus descendientes iban a ser esclavos.
He did say how long they were going to be slaves,
Él le dijo cuántos años ellos iban a estar como esclavos,
but he didn't tell how that would happen.
pero él no le dijo cómo eso sucedería.
Chapter 37 is your understanding of how this will happen.
En el capítulo 37 es el entendimiento, vas a comprender cómo es que esto sucedió.
Then in chapter 38,
Y en el capítulo 38
you got the Yehuda Tamar incident.
tenemos el incidente o la cuenta de Yehuda y Tamar.
Okay. So that whole chapter is taken up pretty much with all that information.
Y ese capítulo es completamente acerca de esa información.
So let's go on to the next slide. We still got more summary and then we're going to get into tonight's stuff.
Vamos a ver la siguiente diapositiva. Aún estamos con nuestra revisión general.
Now, anybody on WebEx, if you have a question or a comment, you can raise your hand.
Ahora,
Okay.
si alguien tiene preguntas en Webex, por favor, levanten su mano.
Okay, I'll check the phone occasionally for text.
Y también chequearé el teléfono ocasionalmente por textos.
Okay, the rest of the Parasha on chapter 39,
El resto de la parasha en el capítulo 39.
Yosef is now in Egypt.
Yosef ahora está en Egipto.
He's sold to Potiphar, the captain of the guard.
Fue vendido a Potiphar, el capitán de la guardia.
But Yosef is now raised up to be in charge of Potiphar's entire household and all of his things.
Ok, y Yosef ahora fue promovido a estar a cargo de la casa de Potiphar en todo lo que se refiere a la casa.
And that's verse 1 through 6.
Y vemos eso del versículo 1 al 6.
But then in verse 7
En el versículo 7
starts the novella.
comienza la novela.
After the commercial break of Yosef being raised up,
Después del comercial de que Yosef fue promovido,
we come back from our commercial break.
regresamos de nuestro comercial.
And on next week's show,
Y en el show de la próxima semana
we got Potiphar's wife desiring marital relations with Yosef, but she's married to Potiphar.
tenemos a la esposa de Potifar que quiere tener relaciones maritales con Yosef.
And then in chapter 40,
Y en el capítulo 40
we have the two prophetic dreams of the two prisoners, of the baker and the cupbearer.
tenemos los dos sueños proféticos de los siervos del faraón, del copero y el panadero.
And you can spend literally a couple of months on each chapter of this parasha.
Y literalmente podrías pasar meses revisando cada capítulo de esta parasha.
That's why on our website,
Por eso es que en nuestra página web,
I get my little arrow thing here. On our website,
en nuestra página web,
at bethgoing.org,
en bedgoing.org,
you have 5 years of study on this parasha.
encontrarás 5 años de estudio en acerca de esta parasha.
Okay, so let's go back to our main topic of understanding everything we've talked about so far.
Vamos de vuelta al tema de entender qué es lo que está pasando hasta hoy.
Like, why is Yosef in Egypt?
Por ejemplo, que por qué Yosef estuvo en Egipto.
What events led to him being in Egypt?
¿Qué eventos llevaron a que él vaya a Egipto?
Did Yosef do anything bad to have this really happen to him?
¿Hizo Yosef algo malo para que le pase esto a él?
Or did other people help to get this event going?
¿O hubieron otras personas que ayudaron a que este evento suceda?
So our main concept of Parasha number 9, to understand the rest of everything else,
Nuestro concepto de la parasha número 9
is how do we get here?
es cómo es que llegamos hasta aquí.
It's like, what's going on with this fake virus.
Es como cuando está sucediendo con este virus que es falso.
How did we arrive that we became a communist country pretty much overnight without a war?
¿Cómo es que llegamos a ser un país comunista de la noche a la mañana?
Well, when you don't study history,
Cuando no estudias la historia,
you're doomed to repeat it.
tú estás destinado a repetirla.
I posted a link to a video on the Facebook feed today.
Puse yo un link para un video en nuestra página de Facebook
To the rise of Hitler to power.
acerca de cómo Hitler llegó al poder.
And you see the exact playbook that happened in 1920.
Y tú ves los mismos pasos en este libro de juegos
Happening here in our world and in America.
en este libro de Hitler de 1920 que está sucediendo aquí el día de hoy en América.
And one of the key factors
Y una de las cosas, de las partes principales
is remove God from the society.
es remover a Dios de la sociedad.
Covet other people's things.
Desear o codiciar las cosas de otras personas.
Become jealous for other people's things.
Tener celos a causa de las cosas de otras personas.
And when you are jealous,
Y cuando hay celos,
that will lead to hatred.
esto va a llevar al odio.
You'll be able to use that hatred.
Vas a poder utilizar ese odio
To get people around you to do what you want them to do.
para hacer que la gente que está alrededor tuyo que hagan lo que tú quieres que hagan.
And that will lead to all types of sin.
Y esto va a llevar a todo tipo de pecado.
So I highly recommend people watching this Khan Academy video.
Realmente les sugiero o les recomiendo que vean este video de Khan Academy.
The one part I put up is only 11 minutes long.
Esta parte que yo puse solamente tiene 11 minutos de duración.
But if you're not going to listen to it while watching the video,
Pero si no vas a escucharlo mientras estás mirando el video,
then don't watch it at all.
ni siquiera lo veas.
Because there's key words and key concepts that you need to understand, just like the parasha.
Porque hay palabras claves y hay conceptos que tienes que entender, así como la parasha.
See, the reason Jehovah told us to constantly study the word,
La razón que Jehová nos dijo constantemente que estudiemos la palabra,
because it's supposed to be our life.
porque se supone que deben ser nuestra vida.
Once you remove that from your life,
Una vez que remuevas eso de tu vida,
then Satan will use your jealousy,
entonces Satanás utilizará los celos,
your coveting,
tus codicias
to lead to hatred,
para llevar al odio.
and that will lead to all types of breaking all the commandments.
Y esto va a ocasionar que puedas romper o quebrantar todo mandamiento.
So in Parasha number 9,
En la parasha número 9,
we have to understand this main concept
tenemos que entender este concepto principal,
that we need to understand jealousy.
que necesitamos comprender los celos.
Okay, so let's move on to our first part that we're going to read.
Vamos a leer una parte de la Biblia.
So open your Bibles to Bereshit 37, verse 2 and 3.
Vámonos a Génesis 37, versículos 2 y 3.
Genesis 37, verse 2 and 3.
Génesis capítulo 37, versículos 2 y 3.
Any questions on WebEx about the synopsis?
¿Alguna pregunta en WebEx acerca de la sinopsis que acabamos de ver?
Just put your hand up and I'll recognize you.
Levanten su manita para reconocerlos.
Or not. I can't say you're missing Bible study at the building and we're serving great treats because you're in your own house.
No puedo decir que estamos sirviendo deliciosos bocadillos porque no estamos en el edificio ahora.
Go get your own coffee and your own cookies.
Pero vayan a buscarse galletas y café.
All right. Well, since there's no questions, we're going to move on to getting to the understanding of jealousy.
Como no hay preguntas, vamos a seguir con el entendimiento de los celos.
Here's the history of Yaakov when Yosef was 17 years old. He used to pasture the flock with his brothers, even though he was still a boy. Once, when he was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives, he brought a bad report about them to their father. Now Yisrael loved Joseph the most of all his children because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a long sleeve robe. Okay, so here the first part that we're looking at in verse 2
En esta primera parte que estamos observando en el versículo 2,
is we see that Yosef is doing something that only men are supposed to do.
que
Joseph is doing
Okay.
something
Joseph está haciendo algo
that something men are supposed to do.
que los hombres deben hacer, solo los hombres.
Because remember, your flock back then there was some things of money,
Porque habían algunas cosas de dinero,
but really what you did was trade.
pero lo que realmente hacías era trade, intercambiar.
Like you would trade a sheep for one sheep for maybe some apples or something.
Ya es el intercambio, como intercambiarías un animal por comida o por frutas.
Okay, so you want your men watching your flocks
Quieres que los hombres cuiden de tu rebaño,
because and you're not a man until you're at the age of 20 in the scriptures.
y bíblicamente no eres hombre, sino, bueno, no, los varones no se convierten en hombres hasta que son 20 años de edad.
And we get this from verse 2.
Y esto obtenemos del versículo 2.
Let's read verse 2 again.
Leamos el versículo 2 otra vez.
Here's the history of Yaakov when Yosef was 17 years old. He used to pasture the flock with his brothers, even though he was still a boy. Okay?
Aunque él aún era un jovencito.
So it's telling you he's a boy.
Aquí te está diciendo que él es un muchachito.
He's doing something that he's not supposed to, so that means he's being shown favoritism.
Esto te muestra que él está haciendo algo que aún no tenía que hacer, por lo tanto esto muestra que hay favoritismo.
And he's pasturing the flock.
Él está apacentando el rebaño
With the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah.
con los hijos de Bilhah y Zilpah.
And these are, it says wives there, but they're really concubines.
Dice aquí las esposas, pero en realidad eran las concubinas.
Because Rachel and Leah are the two wives.
Porque Raquel y Lea son las dos esposas.
Bilhah and Zilpah are the slave girls of Rachel and Leah.
Bilha y Silpa son las esclavas de Lea y Raquel.
Okay. And he's sending Yosef, his son,
Y está mandando a Yosef, su hijo,
to maybe oversee these other children, these other men.
para supervisar a estos otros hijos, pero y estos hombres.
Because remember, Yosef was Rachel's only son at this point.
Recuerda que Yosef era el hijo de Raquel hasta este momento el único.
Well, Rachel is dead because she's already given birth to Benjamin.
Raquel ya murió porque ya había dado a luz a Benjamín.
Because Joseph is going to know Benjamin before he gets sold into slavery for a number of years.
Joseph va a conocer a Benjamín antes de ser vendido para Egipto.
So at 17, he's doing the job of a man, and that could make your brothers a little jealous.
A los 17 años, él comenzó a hacer un trabajo que es de hombres de mayores y eso podría haber causado celos.
But what it does show
Pero,
in verse 2
y en el versículo 2 lo que muestra
is Joseph is being shown favor from his father.
es que a Joseph se le está mostrando preferencia de parte de su padre.
He's being given responsibility from his father,
El padre le está dando responsabilidades,
even though he's not a man.
aunque él aún no es mayor, un hombre mayor.
And this is going to cause jealousy
Y esto iba a causar los celos,
because his brothers are going to see this as favoritism.
porque lo que los hermanos estaban mirando es como algo, un favoritismo.
And talking to the kids today with some of the children that are, their parents were not believers.
Y y hablando con los niños hoy, cuando sus padres aún no eran creyentes,
When they got divorced or whatever happened to their marriage,
cuando se divorciaron o cuando lo que sea que haya pasado con su matrimonio,
or maybe they weren't even married.
o quizás no estaban ni casados.
But we do see the children saying, yeah, mom or dad does that.
Vemos que los niños dicen, sí, papá y mamá hacen esto.
Okay. So the children do notice what the parents do.
Los niños sí ponen atención y notan lo que hacen los padres,
Because we're still designed by the King of Kings.
porque aún hemos sido diseñados por el Rey de Reyes.
So here in verse number 2 again, then we'll move on.
Aquí en el versículo número 2 y vamos a seguir.
Here's a history of Yaakov. When Yosef was 17 years old, he used to pasture the flock with his brothers, even though he was still a boy. Once when he was with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives, he brought a bad report about them to their father. Okay, so we see in verse 2 that Yosef is a boy.
Vemos aquí en el versículo 2 que Yosef es un niño.
His brothers are older.
Sus hermanos son mayores.
And then he brings a bad report to their father about his brothers.
Y Yosef trajo un mal informe a su padre acerca de sus hermanos.
Now, we're not going to get into what the brothers were doing.
No vamos a entrar a investigar qué es lo que sus hermanos estaban haciendo.
Because really what we're just doing in this Parasha study
Porque lo que realmente estamos haciendo en este estudio de la Parasha
is we're focusing on the one key of favoritism and jealousy.
es que nos estamos enfocando en la clave de los celos y jealousy and.
Okay, so now let's read verse 3 again.
Leamos el versículo 3 ahora.
Now Yisrael loved Joseph the most of all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a long sleeve robe. So in verse number 3,
En el versículo número 3,
we are told from the perfect word of Jehovah
se nos ha dicho por medio de la palabra perfecta de Jehová
that Israel or Yaakov loved Joseph the most.
que Israel o Jacob amaba a José mucho más.
So his brothers are going to be jealous of this.
Sus hermanos van a estar celosos por causa de esto.
And this is going to show favoritism.
Y esto va a mostrar favoritismo.
Now we're dealing with this particular issue.
Y estamos aún viviendo con este problema en particular.
Not that it is an excuse,
No que es una excusa,
but we're going to get into the mind of a secular person.
pero vamos a entrarnos en la mente de una persona secular.
When you're not following God,
Cuando no está siguiendo a Dios,
now these are going to be the 12 tribes of Israel.
estas van a ser las 12 tribus de Israel.
Their names are going to be on the new Jerusalem that comes out of heaven.
Sus nombres van a estar en la nueva Jerusalén cuando baje del cielo.
But these were men that had real.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
These are men that had real feelings.
Pero estos son hombres que tienen verdaderos sentimientos.
And does what Yaakov did.
Lo que Jacob hizo,
Does this facilitate them becoming jealous?
lo que hizo Jacob, ¿será que les ayudó a ellos para que se conviertan o hagan lo que iban a hacer?
The reason we're talking about this
La razón que hablamos de esto
is because we have to watch ourselves when everything that we do.
es que tenemos nosotros que mirar o poner atención lo que hagamos.
If you call yourself a follower of the way,
Si te llamas tú un seguidor del camino
or you're a Christian,
o un cristiano
or a Messianic believer,
o un creyente mesiánico,
everything you do should represent the kingdom.
todo lo que tú haces debe representar el reino.
Okay, but if you're of a secular mindset,
Pero si tienes tú un pensamiento secular,
without the laws of God,
sin las leyes de Dios,
you're capable of doing complete evil.
tú eres capaz de hacer completamente maldad.
And we're going to see that not that it's going to be correct,
Y vas a ver que no que todo sea correcto,
but you can understand how the brothers arrived at wanting to kill Yosef.
vas a aprender y entender cómo es que los hermanos llegaron a planificar matar a Yosef.
We see in verse 3
Vemos aquí en el versículo 3
that Yaakov is treating Yosef differently
que Jacob está tratando a Yosef de una manera diferente
than his 10 other, or actually 11 other sons, because Benjamin is born.
que a sus otros 11 hijos, porque Benjamín ya nació.
Okay, because he does have a younger son than Yosef,
Porque sí, él tiene un hijo más pequeño que Yosef
and he's got some other sons that are younger than Yosef from the other wives and concubines.
y tiene los hijos de otras esposas que son más jóvenes que Yosef.
But here we're being told very clearly in verse 3 that Israel loved Joseph most.
Pero vemos aquí en la palabra que dice que Israel amaba a Yosef mucho más.
And this causes great problems.
Y esto nos causa un gran problema.
Because as we see here at the bottom of the slide,
Porque como vemos aquí en la parte baja de esta presentación,
in verse 4, the brothers get so angry,
en el versículo 4, sus hermanos se enojan tanto
they stop talking to their brother.
que dejan de hablarle a su hermano.
Okay, so let's go down to verse number 4, 37:4.
Vamos a leer el versículo número 4.
When his brothers saw that their father loved him more, that all his brothers loved him more than all his brothers, they began to hate him, and reached the point where they couldn't even talk with him in a civil manner. We're not going to get into all the Hebrew nuances of what was going on, but let's take the broad view.
No vamos a llegar a meternos en el hebreo de todo esto, pero vamos a ver una visión general.
Because it does get even a lot deeper when you get into the Hebrew.
Porque incluso te vas a obtener una información más profunda cuando tú ves el hebreo.
But let's just take a look at the big picture.
Pero veamos solo la visión general.
In the beginning of verse 4, in the first half of the sentence,
En el principio del versículo 4, en la mitad de la primera oración,
the brothers see that their father loves Yosef more.
los hermanos ven que su padre amaba mucho más a Yosef.
He gives him this very special talit.
Le entrega a él este vestimenta, este talid especial.
Okay, so if you don't want to believe it's a talit, he gives him a special coat.
Le da este talid, si no quieres creer que es un talid, le da esta vestimenta.
It's got multi-colors in it. It's something very beautiful.
Tiene colores hermosos y tiene muchos colores.
And he doesn't give something like this to every child.
Y esto no le entregó a cada hijo.
Yosef doesn't get this coat because he did something spectacular.
Yosef no les da todo esto a estos hijos porque esto es algo espectacular.
He doesn't win a war.
No, Yosef no ganó una guerra.
He doesn't do something that we know of that gets him this magical, beautiful coat.
Él no hace algo que le amerite a tener algo hermoso como esta vestimenta.
And in verse 4, what it gives us the information.
Y en el versículo 4 lo que nos da esta información.
Things that are not in scripture, but what you can discern from this verse.
Cosas que no están en la escritura, pero lo que puedes discernir de este verso.
That just giving him the coat was not the only thing that occurred.
Que solamente el hecho de darle este abrigo no es lo único que ocurrió.
Because it says, when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It's just the first half of the sentence.
Porque está en el principio del versículo 4 y sus hermanos vieron que su padre amaba más a Yosef.
There's something else going on.
Hay algo más que está sucediendo.
And what that is, there's a lot of Talmud craziness that it's just thought.
Y lo que sucede, hay muchos pensamientos talmúdicos que son solamente unas ideas.
Sort of like the series The Chosen. It could have happened, it might have happened, but you can't prove it happened.
O como esta serie de este grupo de Chosen, que pudo haber pasado o como no pudo haber pasado.
So for this study, something is going on between Yosef and his father.
Aquí, para este estudio, vemos que algo está sucediendo entre Yosef y su padre.
That's causing the brothers to hate Yosef.
Que está ocasionando que los hermanos odien a Yosef.
The key is, one of the keys that we do know from Scripture.
Una de las claves que vemos en la escritura.
Is that the father made this beautiful coat or talit for one son.
Es que su padre hizo este hermoso abrigo o un talit para solamente un hijo.
And everyone else is coveting it.
Y el resto lo codicia.
They're coveting not only this, the talit or the coat.
No están codiciando solo este talit o este abrigo.
But they're also coveting the relationship between Yosef and his father.
Pero también están codiciando esa relación que Yosef tiene con su padre.
Now this has a lot of prophetic understanding. We're not going into that today.
Esto también tiene un entendimiento profético, pero no lo veremos hoy.
Because the world will covet the relationship that the Hebrew people have with Jehovah Elohim.
Porque el mundo codiciará la relación que los hebreos tienen con Jehová Elohim.
and people will get jealous of that relationship.
Y la gente tendrá celos de esa relación.
People will get one thing happens.
Can you repeat that again, Rabbi?
Once coveting happens,
Una vez que la codicia sucede,
then it turns to jealousy.
entonces esto se transforma a los celos.
And jealousy turns to hatred.
Y los celos pueden cambiar o pueden tornarse al odio.
Okay, write this down for your notes.
Escriban esto para sus notas.
It's on the slide, Veronica.
Okay.
Coveting turns to jealousy, and jealousy turns to hatred.
Okay. La codicia se torna en celos y los celos se tornan en odio.
Coveting turns to jealousy, jealousy turns to hatred.
La codicia se torna o se convierte en celos y los celos se convierten en odio.
One last time. Coveting
Una vez
turns to
más.
jealousy, jealousy turns to hatred.
La codicia se convierte en celos, los celos se convierten en odio.
And then hatred turns to sin.
Y el odio se convierte en pecado.
And we're going to prove that with what we're going to see tonight just in these few chapters.
Y vamos a probar esto esta noche cuando veamos estos próximos capítulos.
Now, where does this all stem from?
¿De dónde todo esto se origina?
You know, that the brothers, they couldn't even talk to Yosef anymore in a civil manner.
Del hecho de que los hermanos de Yosef no podían hablar ni siquiera con él de una manera amistosa.
Where did this all start from?
¿De dónde todo esto se originó?
Well, it started when Yosef deceived his father Yitzhak.
Comenzó cuando Jacob engañó a su padre Isaac.
It's on the slide at the bottom there. This all stems from Yaakov's deception of his Yitzhak, his father.
Todo esto se originó de la decepción de Jacob que le hizo a su padre.
Remember, Yaakov did buy the birthright from his brother Esau.
Recuerden que Jacob sí compró el derecho de nacimiento de su hermano Esau.
But then he got the blessing from his father by deception.
Pero él obtuvo la bendición de su padre por medio del engaño.
So when you don't repent of this deception,
Entonces, cuando no te has arrepentido de esta decepción,
and repenting means you have to speak it.
Cuando te arrepientes significa que tienes que decirlo.
And we understand that from the parable of the prodigal son.
Y entendemos eso por medio de la parábola del hijo pródigo.
And Yeshua tells us about the prodigal son.
Yeshua nos habló del hijo pródigo.
Prodigal son said, he had to say to his father, I sinned against heaven and against you.
El hijo pródigo le dijo a su padre que él pecó en contra del cielo y en contra de su padre.
So Yaakov never repents.
Jacob nunca se arrepiente.
Okay, so here, Yaakov's family is going to have problems because until you repent, you're going to have problems.
Jacob va a tener problemas porque hasta que la familia de Jacob va a tener problemas porque no hasta que Jacob se arrepienta va a haber problemas.
Okay, so coveting turns to jealousy.
La codicia se convierte en celos.
Jealousy turns to hatred.
Los celos se convierten en odio.
Hatred turns to sin.
Y el odio en pecado.
And you're going to see that in this study tonight.
Y vas a ver esto en el estudio de esta noche.
So don't covet.
No codicies.
All right, let's go on to the next part, verse 6 through 11.
Vamos a ver los versículos 6 al 11.
We're in Genesis, Parasha 37, verse 6 through 11.
Estamos leyendo Génesis capítulo 37, versículos 6 al 11.
He said to them, listen while I tell you about this dream of mine. We were tying up bundles of wheat in the field when suddenly my bundle got up by itself and stood upright. When your bundles came, gathered around mine, and prostrated themselves before it, His brothers retorted, "Yes, you will certainly be our king. You'll do a great job of bossing us around." And they hated him still more for his dreams and for what he said. We go to the next slide. He had another dream which he told his brothers. Here I had another dream. And there was the sun, the moon, and 11 stars prostrating themselves before me. He told his father too, as well as his brother. But his father rebuked him. What is this dream you have had? Do you really expect me and your mother and your brothers to come and prostrate ourselves before you on the ground? His brothers were jealous, but his father kept the matter in mind. Okay, now let's go back to the other slide. Amen?
Amén.
Okay, so we're not going to get into the propheticness of the dream
No vamos a revisar la profecía del sueño,
because that's another study.
porque eso está en otro estudio.
But what we're looking at is jealousy.
Lo que estamos viendo es acerca de los celos.
So let's look at verse 7.
Revisemos el versículo 7.
And imagine you're on the receiving end of this brother who you hate telling you this.
Imagínate que tú eres parte de ese hermano que te está odiando.
Because remember in verse 4, it said they couldn't even stand talking to Joseph.
Porque recuerda que en el versículo 4 dice que no podían ni hablarle amistosamente.
So in verse 7,
Versículo 7.
we were tying up bundles of wheat in a field when suddenly my bundle got up by itself and stood upright. Then your bundles came and gathered around mine and prostrated themselves before it. How do you think that's going to go over?
¿Cómo crees que eso va a resultar?
You know, your fathers, or all the boys' fathers are treating them like Joseph's servants.
Todos a los hijos de Jacob están siendo tratados como si
Of Yosef.
Okay.
De Yosef.
Los hermanos de Yosef están siendo tratados como siervos de él.
Hermanos, brothers, yes. Okay. Now, you already hate your brother.
Ya odian a su hermano.
You're coveting his coat.
Ya estás codiciando ese abrigo.
You're coveting his relationship with his father.
Estás codiciando la relación con tu padre.
So much so you can't even be in the same room together.
Tanto así que no puedes estar en la misma habitación con él.
And now your brother's telling you, well, your bundles are bowing to mine.
Y ahora Joseph está diciéndoles, tus gavillas se inclinaron hacia la mía.
How many people would want to be in the room with Yosef?
¿Cuánta gente quisiera estar en la misma habitación con Joseph?
And you see what they say in verse 8.
Y se ve lo que dice en el versículo 8.
His brothers retorted, yes, you will certainly be our king. You'll do a great job of bossing us around. And they hated him still more for his dreams and what he said. So you see, they hate him.
Si ves cómo a él lo odiaban.
Now, we're not talking about the propheticness of the dreams.
Ahora no estamos hablando acerca de la profecía de los sueños.
What we're talking about is the human aspect of what's going on.
Pero lo que estamos hablando es el aspecto humano de esta situación.
Okay, Yosef will later boss his brothers around as king.
Después Joseph les manda a sus hermanos como rey.
His brothers will bow down to him just like the dream said.
Sus hermanos se inclinarán ante él así como el sueño lo dijo.
But that's not this point right now.
Pero eso no es el punto de ahora.
What we're looking at is the action of Yosef is going to cause more jealousy.
Vamos a ver que las acciones de Joseph van a ocasionar que haya mucho más celos.
Now we go verse 9.
Ahora vamos a leer el versículo 9.
It wasn't bad enough that he had one dream to them. Now he's having a second.
No era suficiente solo un sueño que tuvo, pero ahora tuvo otro sueño.
So imagine you're his brothers.
Imagínate que tú eres uno de sus hermanos.
You know, let's just read. he said he had another dream, which he told his brothers. Imagine you're his brother.
Imagínate que eres su hermano y lee lo que dice ahí.
Go ahead. Tell me your dream.
Dime tu sueño.
Tell me your dream. Let me throw this rock at you.
Déjame lanzarte esta piedra a ti.
Let me throw this can of pinto beans at you.
Déjame te lanzo esta lata de frijoles a ti.
Let me throw a can of olives at you.
Déjame lanzarte la lata de olivas a ti.
Okay, so imagine you're in, because we're all human.
Imagínate porque todos somos humanos.
This is why we have to have the scriptures deep inside of us.
Por eso es que tenemos que tener las escrituras muy dentro de nosotros.
Because the Lord will always speak to you when your eyes are looking at something, your heart is telling you something different.
Porque el Señor siempre hablará contigo cuando tus ojos están mirando algo, pero tu corazón ve otra cosa.
So let's read verse 9.
Veamos al versículo 9.
Let's see what he tells his brothers.
Veamos qué es lo que él dice a sus hermanos.
He had another dream which he told his brothers. Here I had another dream, and there were the sun and the moon and 11 stars prostrating themselves before me. Okay, so now the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were the 11 stars?
Ahora el sol, la luna y las 11 estrellas se inclinan ante él. ¿Cuáles son las 11 estrellas?
Dad gave you a new coat.
El papá le dio un nuevo abrigo.
He didn't give me a coat.
Él no me da un abrigo a mí.
You got this great relationship with Dad.
Él tiene una muy buena relación con su papá.
Dad doesn't even know my name.
Mi papá ni siquiera se acuerda de mi nombre.
He hasn't given me even a speck of dust.
No me da ni siquiera un pedazo de tierra.
Now you're telling me the second dream.
Y ahora me está diciendo un segundo sueño.
And now we're going to be prostrating ourselves again to
Y,
you. The sun and the moon are going to be prostrating themselves to you.
y ahora nos vamos a postrar otra vez hacia ti, y el sol y la luna se postran hacia ti.
So now we go to verse 11.
Ahora vamos al versículo 11.
His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind.
Do you want me to read the verse?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sus hermanos le tenían envidia, pero su padre reflexionaba sobre lo que se había dicho.
So we're being told that what this caused
Se nos dice acerca de la causa de esto
in the natural
en lo natural
is jealousy.
es la envidia, los celos.
Now the Lord is going to use everything for his glory.
Ahora el Señor va a utilizar todo para su gloria.
See, in this study, this Parasha number 9 study,
En el estudio de esta parasha,
we're not looking at the prophetic.
no estamos viendo a lo profético.
We're looking at the human side of emotion.
Estamos viendo al lado humano de las emociones.
Because then you understand things in a greater understanding.
Porque entonces tú vas a poder entender estas cosas de una gran manera.
Because a lot of times people come to me, especially the Latin congregant members.
Porque mucha gente se acerca hacia mí, especialmente los congregantes latinos.
Rabbi, what does this dream mean prophetically?
Rabino, ¿qué significa este sueño tan profético?
It's you ate a bad can of pinto beans.
Que te comiste una lata extra de granos.
There are levels of understanding.
Hay niveles de entendimiento.
What we're looking at here is the coveting.
Pero lo que estamos mirando aquí es la codicia.
Because this will help you understand the scriptures better.
Porque esto te va a ayudar a entender las escrituras de una mejor manera.
If you're coveting a better relationship with the Father,
si estás codiciando una mejor relación con tu Padre,
then be what the Father wants you to be.
Entonces sé o conviértete en lo que tu Padre quiere que seas.
He created each human being with a purpose.
Él creó cada ser humano con su propósito.
And you can only be who you're supposed to be in the kingdom's work.
y solo puede ser quien se supone que debe ser con la palabra del reino.
So here, the brothers were jealous.
Sus hermanos estaban enojados,
They were jealous of Yosef's coat.
estaban celosos o tenían envidia del abrigo de Yosef.
They were jealous of Joseph's relationship with his father.
Tenían envidia de la relación que tenía Yosef con su padre.
They were jealous of him being shown favoritism.
Tenían celos porque a Yosef se le mostraba favoritismo.
So much so, this jealousy is now causing hatred.
Tanto así que ahora estos celos están causando odio.
All right, let's move on to the next part.
Vamos a la siguiente parte.
Now let's look at what the word jealousy means.
Vamos a ver lo que significa la palabra celos.
In verse 11,
En el versículo 11,
his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. Okay, in the slide there that you see,
en esta diapositiva que ves,
you have the full Hebrew word,
tienes la palabra completa del hebreo,
which is going to give you some more information about the root word.
que te va a dar mucho más información acerca de esta palabra, de los orígenes de esta palabra.
But you still need to understand what the root word means,
Pero aún tienes que comprender qué significa la palabra raíz,
because you need your base before you can understand your expanse.
porque necesitas entender la base para poder expandirte.
And let me say that again. You need your base before you can understand your expanse.
Primero necesitas entender la base para poder entender la expansión.
So the word jealous, the root word is H7065.
La palabra raíz es H7065.
The root word, the base is kana.
La palabra raíz es cana.
It means to envy,
Significa envidiar,
be jealous,
estar celoso,
be envious.
ser envidioso.
So the brothers are envious of the relationship with Joseph's relationship with the father.
Entonces los hermanos están siendo envidiosos de la relación que Yosef tiene con su padre.
When you're envious, that'll lead to hatred.
La envidia te llevará al odio.
Hatred is going to lead to other sins.
Y el odio te llevará a otros pecados.
Definition number 2,
Definición número 2.
to excite to jealous anger.
Para incitar a un celo con odio.
Number 3,
Número 3.
to provoke to jealous anger.
Para provocar a una ira de celos.
To cause jealousy.
Para causar envidia.
So this jealousy is going to cause anger.
Estos celos van a causar odio.
Once you have anger,
Una vez que tengas enojo,
then you're not going to be thinking correctly.
entonces ya no vas a poder pensar correctamente.
Once you're not thinking with a kingdom purpose in your brain,
Una vez que ya no pienses con el propósito del reino en tu cerebro.
once you remove God's rules from inside you,
Una vez que remuevas las reglas de Dios de dentro de ti,
you're going to be capable of breaking all the rules.
vas a ser capaz de romper todas las reglas.
Once you've broken one of the Torah rules, you break them all.
Cuando ya has roto una de las reglas de Torah, ya has roto todas.
And most of this starts from jealousy or envy.
Y la mayoría de esto comienza con la envidia o los celos.
Let's move on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Any questions or comments so far?
¿Alguna pregunta hasta el momento?
Okay. How's the stream look out there? Rabbits and Veronica?
Yeah, Rabbi, I just wanted to point out the part that at the beginning of the chapter, what I believe that the envy that, or the the jealousy that they have is also that the fact that Yaakov has so much trust in his son Joseph, so much so to believe even the reports that he brings about his children. I think is the relationship, but I think it's the trust that Yaakov has towards Joseph, and he's not even a man yet. He's not biblically a man, but he has that level of trust with his son.
Well, I agree. It's going to cause other envious problems, especially because he
Sí.
is not a man.
Sí, lo que yo le dije al rabino es que creo que al principio del capítulo no es solamente la relación, sino el nivel de confianza que Jacob tiene con Joseph, tanto así para creer los reportes que él trae de sus hijos. Entonces, y él no todavía no es ni siquiera un hombre bíblicamente. Entonces, una de las razones también es el nivel de confianza que tiene Jacob. Y el rabino dice que sí, que esto va a causar un nivel de celos.
And we see very clearly in verse 11, it states they are jealous of him.
Y vemos en el versículo 11 que también habla y nos dice que tienen envidia de él.
So this is how important parenting is.
Pues esto nos indica cuán importante es el ser padres.
Because in Proverbs 22, verse 6, it says, train up a child in the way that they should go.
Porque en Proverbios dice que, que eduques a tu hijo en la manera que debe ir.
A child is going to watch you more than they're going to listen to you.
Un hijo te va a observar mucho más de lo que te van a escuchar.
My mother and father said, don't smoke.
Mi padre y mi madre me dijeron no fumes.
But my oldest sister was a smoker and she died of complications of smoking.
Pero mi hermana mayor era una fumadora y murió por complicaciones del cigarrillo.
My sister was only in her 50s when she died of complications of smoking.
Mi hermana apenas tenía 50 años cuando murió por complicaciones del cigarrillo.
The children are going to watch you more than they're going to listen to you.
Tus hijos te van a mirar mucho más que escucharte.
So when you're giving a bad example,
Cuando estás dándoles un mal ejemplo.
and Yaakov is not the greatest of examples.
Y Jacob no es el ejemplo más bueno que vemos.
You know, he does a lot of very stupid things throughout his entire life.
Él está haciendo errores tan estúpidos durante el resto de su vida.
But this shows the Lord uses imperfect people to get his plan done.
Pero aquí también vemos que el Señor utiliza gente imperfecta para cumplir con sus planes.
And we know that Yaakov is in heaven already.
Y sabemos que Jacob está en el cielo.
Because Yeshua tells us in the Gospel of Luke chapter 16 that the patriarchs are already there.
Porque Yeshua nos dice en el Evangelio de Lucas que los patriarcas ya están allí.
So imperfect people do make it to heaven.
Entonces vemos que la gente imperfecta llega al cielo.
That's another lesson. That's a great lesson to learn. We don't have to be perfect, but we got to try to be perfect because we represent Yeshua.
Amén. Esa es una buena lección porque nos indica que no tenemos que ser perfectos, pero tenemos que perseverar en la de ser perfectos para llegar a Yeshua.
Because Yeshua does talk about getting spanked once you get to heaven.
Porque Yeshua habla de que serás azotado cuando llegues al cielo.
He talks about those who will receive many lashes.
Habla aquellos que van a recibir muchas azotes.
You still got to pay.
Aún toca pagar,
But imperfect people do get to heaven.
pero la gente imperfecta sí llega al cielo.
All right, let's move on to verse 16 through 20 now.
Vamos a los versículos 16 al 20 ahora.
I'm looking for my brothers, he answered. Tell me, please, where they are pasturing the sheep. The man said, they've left here because I heard them say, let's go to Dotan. Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dotan. They spotted him in the distance, and before he had arrived where they were, they had already plotted to kill him. They said to each other, "Look, this dreamer is coming. So come now. Let's kill him and throw him into one of these water cisterns here. Then we'll say some wild animal devoured him. We'll see what it becomes of his dreams. We'll see what becomes of his dreams." Okay? So now in this passage,
Ahora en este pasaje,
once you've broken one law, you're going to break them all.
una vez que has quebrantado una ley, vas a quebrantarlas todas.
Now let's go back to verse 18.
Vamos de vuelta al versículo 18.
They spotted him in the distance, and before he had arrived where they were, they had already plotted to kill him. Amen?
Amén.
The killing is a very poor translation.
La palabra matar es una traducción muy pobre.
It's very poor translation understanding.
Es una palabra muy demasiado simple para el entendimiento.
Because if you're plotting to kill somebody, that means you're plotting to murder them.
Porque si estás planeando asesinar a alguien, es que es un pensamiento premeditado.
Let me say that again.
Déjame repetirlo otra vez.
If you're plotting to kill somebody, that means you're plotting to murder them.
Si estás pensando en matar a alguien, es que esto va a ser un asesinato premeditado.
Now, if the person does something wrong in Torah, that's supposed to cause a stoning, you're not plotting to kill them. You're plotting to kill them because of the sin.
Si una persona comete un error o peca en contra de la Torah y le hace culpable para matarlo a apedreadas, no estás planeando matarlo porque algo sin razón, sino matarlo porque cometió pecado.
But Yosef has done nothing that Torah says we should kill him for.
Pero Yosef no ha cometido nada que la Torah nos dice que deberíamos matarlo.
He told the truth about his brothers doing something wrong.
Él dijo la verdad de sus hermanos que estaban haciendo algo malo.
He's not in charge of his father's emotions.
Él no está a cargo de las emociones de su padre.
He just told his brothers about his dream. Maybe that wasn't good, but it doesn't cause a stoning.
Pero les dijo a sus hermanos acerca del sueño, de sus sueños, pero tampoco eso es causa de apedreamiento.
So these 10 tribes of Israel are plotting to kill their brother.
Estas 10 tribus de Israel están planeando matar a su hermano.
Not to kill him, to murder.
No matarlo nada más, sino asesinarlo.
So the word there, kill, is a very poor understanding of the translation.
El entendimiento es muy simple cuando utilizamos en la Biblia se utiliza la palabra matar.
Okay? Because as we go to the next slide,
Porque cuando veamos a la siguiente diapositiva,
we have the word plotted there is sometimes put to death is H4191.
para la palabra planear es poner planificar, es la palabra H4191.
It is the root word is mut.
La palabra raíz es mut.
It means to die,
Significa morir,
kill,
asesinar,
have one executed.
ejecutar a alguien.
Well, the person is going to die.
La persona va a morir.
They're going to kill him,
Van a matarlo.
but they're plotting to murder him. It's not kill him.
Pero están planeando o premeditando su muerte, no matarlo.
Because they're plotting to take somebody's life.
Porque están tratando de tomar la vida de alguien.
So it's not killing, it's murder.
No es matarlo así, sino es asesinato premeditado.
The only place that it's different is war.
El único lugar que es diferente es durante la guerra.
Okay, in war, you can plot to destroy your enemy.
En la guerra puedes planificar destruir a tu enemigo.
That is not murder because it's war.
Eso no es asesinar porque es la guerra.
And in Torah, there are rules to war.
Y en la Torah también existen reglas durante la guerra.
You give your enemy terms for peace,
Le das a tu enemigo términos de paz.
and if they don't accept the terms for peace,
Y si no aceptan los términos de paz,
then you go to war and you make a plan to go to war.
entonces tú vas a la guerra cuando planeas.
Then it is not murder, it's killing.
Entonces no es asesinar, sino es matar.
Because you've already offered them terms for peace.
Porque ya les ofreciste términos de paz.
Yosef doesn't know anything about the brothers hating him.
Yosef no sabía de sus hermanos que lo odiaban.
And this is all emotion.
Y esto es una emoción.
But emotion is going to cause a very big problem.
Las emociones causan o ocasionan un gran problema.
Okay, any questions about this, about killing and murder?
¿Alguna pregunta acerca de esto, acerca del asesinato?
Everybody understand the difference between killing and murder?
Entendemos la diferencia entre el asesinato premeditado y el matar.
Okay, everybody got the COVID-19 murder weapons? Okay, now let's go on to the next slide.
Vamos a la siguiente diapositiva.
Let's read verse 18 through 20 again.
Vamos a los versículos 18 y al 20. Leamos versículos 18 al 20.
They spotted him in the distance, and before he had arrived where they were, they had already plotted to kill him. They said to each other, "Look, this dreamer is coming. So come now, let's kill him. Throw him into one of these water cisterns here. Then we'll say some wild animal devoured him. We'll see then what becomes of his dream." Okay? Now, once you've broken one law,
Una vez que tú quebrantaste una ley,
you're going to break the rest of them.
vas a quebrantar el resto de ellas.
So they're plotting to murder their brother.
Están planeando matar, asesinar a su hermano.
Then in verse 20, they're plotting to now lie.
Ahora en el versículo 20 también están planificando o planeando su mentira.
Let's look at verse 20.
Leamos el versículo 20.
So come now, let's kill him and throw him into one of these water cisterns here. And we'll say some wild animal devoured him. We'll see then what becomes of his dream. Okay? So coveting leads to jealousy.
La codicia nos lleva a la envidia.
That leads to lawlessness.
Eso lleva a falta de ley.
Let me say that again.
Déjame repetir otra vez.
Coveting leads to jealousy.
La codicia lleva a los celos.
And that leads to lawlessness.
Y eso lleva al desorden, a la anarquía.
Hold your place there in Genesis 37.
Vámonos a Génesis 30. No, mantengan sus lugares en Génesis 36.
Shalom, this is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org, and click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom. Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean, and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just one or two scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's Parasha. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.